Hello fellow mutants, welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to talk about how the Last Ronin costume, and yes, we're going to talk about more Ninja Turtle stuff, because guess what, I'm a Ninja Turtle fan. Now wait. Guys probably couldn't hear me because I was decided to talk, but now wait! Anyways, the Last Ronin costume has dark meaning apparently. So let's get into what the dark meaning of the costume is. Now, spoiler alert, this will contain spoilers to The Last Ronin, which all 5 issues of the original run has been out for a few years now. So if you guys haven't picked up a copy of all 5 issues and don't want any spoilers, now it's your chance to leave, buy those copies, read them, and then come back in. But if you're like one of those weirdos, me putting myself into that mix, where you guys, for the most part, doesn't mind spoilers, then hello, how you guys doing? And if you guys have read it, the 5 issues, I see you guys over there. Let me, one of these days we gotta hang out, go to the bar, and have some drinks. Discuss how we, what you guys, me and you think of The Last Ronin. Because I'd be very interested in seeing as many people's, takes on what The Last Ronin is. Like, their opinions of how The Last Ronin took place, so that makes sense. I'm gonna shut up and actually read, okay. One of the coolest parts of Michelangelo's Last Ronin transformation was his update costume that differed immensely from his original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles look. And yes, if you guys are still here who has not read Last Ronin, yes, you heard it right, Michelangelo's The Last Ronin. And now fans have that Mikey's post-apocalyptic style choice actually goes far beyond aesthetics, as there's a dark secret meaning to Michelangelo's Last Ronin costume. The Last Ronin threw fans into a world that had itself been thrown into chaos by the Foot Clan and their new leader, Oroku Hiroto, aka the Shredder. Oroku Hiroto is the grandson of the Shredder. He's the son of Cry. For those of you who hasn't read it yet. And yes, he does take on the mantle of the Shredder. When this new Shredder attacked New York and the Turtles responded in kind, he was successful in slaughtering every single member of Michelangelo's family, leaving only the lone turtle alive to wander Earth without direction. In the original story, fans knew that Michelangelo got his outfit during the time between the death of his family and the events of The Last Ronin. But they were left to fill in those gaps themselves. I mean, is it bad? I mean, we got flashbacks like the other Turtles and Splinter and Casey dying. And I feel like some things are better left to the imagination. And as cool as, get an explanation, how Mikey got the, Ronin costume, again, it may be one of those things that might be advantageous to, what's the word? Advantageous to leave in the minds of fans, so they can create their own headcanon, so they can, talk to other Last Ronin fans, and discuss, okay, what's their theories, and maybe I'll, explaining their theories to other people and hearing other theories that can create new theories of how Michelangelo got that Last Ronin outfit. Do you know how much talk that could garner if you guys left it to fans' headcanon? Ho! So my point is, and funny enough, because I do have Michelangelo on my shirt. So point is, some things are better left as headcanon. Anyways, now the additional storyline that fills in the narrative gap in Michelangelo's life as the Last Ronin, fans finally learn where the outfit change came from: the murder of Death Worm. I guess they sewed in lost years. So Michelangelo got his Last Ronin coat by killing Death Worm. So it's okay. This was in Lost Years. So spoiler alert to the Lost Years arc. So now I'm also getting myself into spoilers because I haven't even read the Lost Years, which I'm really, really, really interested in getting. Anyways, and TMNT The Last Ronin Lost Years issue number 5 by Kevin Eastman and a few other people. Michelangelo is finally facing the main antagonist of the series, Deathworm. Deathworm is the master martial artist who used his advanced killing skill to raise an army and conquer many different territories across the world. When Mikey got wind of him, he knew he needed to take him out. At first, Mikey fights and soundly defeats a Brutus man who he initially believed to be Deathworm. However, after the fighter was quickly killed by Mikey's blade, or more accurately, Raphael's, the real Deathworm presented himself and offered a much more interesting and challenging battle. In the end, Michelangelo was victorious, and as he was leaving, he claimed his prize, the coat worn by the first Deathworm. The issue revealed that the decoy Deathworm was the original owner of the Last Ronin, now iconic coat, while also revealing that Mikey had to kill him to get it. While that explanation is darker than most stories involving an outfit change, the fact that Mikey took the coat off the corpse of an enemy isn't even the tip of the proverbial iceberg. The darkness lies in what the coat represents, which is just as important as where the coat came from. Michelangelo hunted Deathworm across the world, and a lot of people had to die in order for Mikey to accomplish his vengeance-filled mission. When Deathworm was beaten, Michelangelo learned the vengeance and perfect fuel for victory. And it was that moment when Mikey began his real quest for revenge, killing the Strutter. Michelangelo's Last Ronin coat represents his metamorphosis from a lone survivor of tragedy who longed for peace to a man on a wrath of vengeance that could only end in his death, regardless of the outcome. It is for that reason that Michelangelo's Last Ronin costume has a dark, secret meaning in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles lore. And the Last Ronin Lost Years issue number 5 is currently out. So that's a really like I said, I don't think every little detail needs to be explained, because it's sometimes better to let the fans have their own headcanon. But this is not a bad example. Like, this is not a bad explanation to say. Mikey having to kill someone in order to get that coat, it's not a bad explanation. It's actually like a good one, a dark one. And it kind of fits with how Michelangelo is by the time we get to the Last Ronin book. This proves that, like, give the quote-unquote right push, Michelangelo could essentially be the most badass turtle. Whether that right push is by a splinter, which could have meant like Michelangelo could have been like very different turtle, like in a positive light, than the Last Ronin, or the events of the Last Ronin was made him a very dark, Batman-y like turtle. Which I enjoy the Last Ronin. I gotta pick up the Lost Years. I know they're gonna make a sequel too, so How do you guys feel about this origin? Let me know in the comment section down below. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Be kind to one another. I will talk to you, fellow mutants, later.